Hello, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can use the Minecraft drip leaf to make many types of traps that you did not know that you can actually make. But first we must go all the way back to the very beginning when the block was first introduced so we can get a real history deep dive and find out its real hidden potential as a trap block in the game. Alright, well that got a little tense there, but in reality in today's video I am going to be showing you 3 unique trap ideas that I've come up with that you can use on your friends if you want to, or you don't. It doesn't really matter. But first, you may think of a basic trap idea like the falling floor or death. But besides that, these 3 traps are truly unique and used to block the trick the trappee into thinking how they might die, but in reality, they aren't going to be dying to the drip leaf, they're going to be dying in a different way. That is how the drip leaf is really very important in the trap. Well then, let's get on to the first trap, and this trap I would like to call the Leaf Unknowing Aerial Bomb Trap Debate, and you may be thinking, what type of name is that? And to you, I say, I don't care, that's what it's called. But let's get right into the trap and what it actually does. In front of me, you can see the full trap, and it looks pretty complicated. Actually, when I say that, now that I look at it, it looks kind of simple. But this trap consists of using the drip leaves in a parkour type manner to trick the trappee into thinking, oh, it's just a parkour, you know, nothing crazy. So let me do a quick example of the player jumping across the drip leaves, and then they would jump all the way down into this hole right here, which has a tripwire hook that when they activate it on the way down to land on the slime blocks to jump up onto the runway of drip leaves, it actually activates a hidden secret door that they could have, if they crouched on the way down there, could have escaped. But also at the same time, a tower of redstone torches that goes all the way up into the sky or all the way up into a wall that activates a line of sticky pistons holding a block that have at least 5 TNT minecarts on each block that, if you activate it, will drop onto the person who unknowingly walked across the line of drip leaves instead of crouching and walking backward. Little do they know that they are not going to be finishing the parkour, they're going to end up finishing out with a bang. Very quickly, before I move on to a version of this trap that is already hidden, I would like to tell you the amount of resources I used if you may want to use this trap on a friend or want to build it for yourself. So first off, I used a stack and a half of drip leaves and respectively a stack and a half of dirt or moss blocks, whichever one. Then I used a stack and a half of redstone, 17 TNT minecarts, 5 repeaters, and 40 redstone torches. And then lastly, I used 21 sticky pistons, 9 slime blocks, and 12 string alongside 6 tripwire hooks. And this is to make a large version of the trap, so if you have this many materials, you can probably make any size trap you want. But now on to the hidden version of this trap and see how effective it is. Alright, so this is the hidden version of the trap, but as you can see around me, the environment looks pretty hidden to me. And that sign right there, definitely believe it. It's 100% true. There's more parkour behind this point. There's definitely parkour over there. But besides that, I'm going to show you why I made this in a parkour type manner. Because say this is like the end of the parkour and you have the rest of the parkour course like behind this area or whatever. They would be going through the parkour normally, and I guarantee you they would not think twice about jumping down here and activating tripwire hooks. There's just no way. I mean, of course there's a way, but I just don't believe it. But real quick, I would like to show you the hidden door that's down there. As you can see, it activated. But the only way you would know it's a trap is if you trap this person before. That's literally the only way. Or they're like super cautious, like Wreck Rap or something, who knows everything. But if they were to make it all the way across the drip line path, they'd be met with that sign, and you could probably tell why, because probably within 5 seconds of seeing the sign, they are not going to be alive very much longer. And that's why it seems pretty fitting for it to be like this. So before I show you what it would look like if someone were to attempt this trap when it's hidden, and you can see how effective it is because it is extremely hidden, I could quickly go in spectator mode actually, and you can see the hidden redstone up here. Like, I mean, it's pretty hidden. Pretty good, actually. So I think it's a pretty solid trap. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna show you what it would look like if someone were to attempt this trap. Alright, so that is the first trap, and apologies for the mic being a bit scuffed in the first half because apparently I was using the wrong microphone setting. But now it's all better. So if you are still here, let's get onto the second trap, and this trap I would like to call the Leaf Lava Spike Surprise. And once again, you may be saying, what type of name is that? And to you, I just say, onto the second trap, and let's see what it's all about. Alright, so this is trap 2, the Leaf Lava Spike Surprise, and you can see, you can tell where it gets the lava name from, and the spike name from, you know, up there. And this trap consists of using the drip leaves in a race type manner. You may think parkour, I guess you can say that, but realistically a race type manner, because you could have this you can have a giant lava area. You could probably build this in another, doesn't really matter. And because drip leaves don't catch on fire, well, they haven't yet, so I don't know if they really do. But you can make this like a giant race area, and you can trick the person to think, oh, the only way you can die is just falling into the lava, and you just gotta make sure you make it to the end, and the fastest gets a prize, whatever. And they would like race all the way to the end over here. And in the example version that's hidden, you'll see soon why this looks a bit less like suspicious, because it's just a giant hole waiting to be opened to drop something down here. But in the hidden version, you'll see why this doesn't look that sketchy. But the real trap, it's like a double meaning trap. One trap is if the person just dies on the way here, and the second trap is if they actually make it to the end, where there's a ceiling piston opener door thing that I found on YouTube, and you can figure out how to build it yourself from a YouTube person that I saw, and I'll link them in the description below because I don't know how to make this myself. That opens this from a gulk sensor that gets activated when they hit the winning platform, that sends a signal up to the door that opens it, but also at the same time it sends a signal all the way up to something I made that sends a signal to 9 pistons that are holding a block that have stalactites on them, or not stalactites, pointed dripstone on them. And then when both of these activate, it drops the dripstone, and the door opens just in time for the dripstone fall all the way through and kill the player. So it's like a double trap, so pretty much it's a lose-lose the second they start the trap or start the race. And that is why the drip leaf is used to trick the player into thinking it's just an innocent race, when in reality they sealed their fate the second they started racing. And that is pretty much what trap 2, the Leaf Lava Spike Surprise, is all about. Alright, so as you can see around me, this is the hidden version of the trap, and I made a mini race type parkour area, as you can see as I'm traversing my way through. Like, it's a kind of a race. At this point you could just say parkour, but I'm gonna say race to just make it a little bit different from the first version. And I made it look like so if you'd fall, you're pretty much a goner because of all this lava. And I made the end look pretty cool. Like, you can tell you win because, like, look at those cool diamond vein I made. But the reason why in the first part I said it didn't look suspicious if you came over here and there's a giant hole here is because I put these what are they called? Glowberry vines above it, because you can see right here this pocket is actually the secret door that's gonna drop the dripstone. And this part over here, unless you're like really good, usually you would die over here because this jump to this jump is pretty hard for some reason. I don't know why, but it just is. But I just want to show you the hidden trap real quick and see what it looks like before I show you the cinematic of someone attempting it. And as you can see, the piston door thing would remove these blocks, which breaks the vines and then drops these dripstone, even though I now realize from this height literally a tiny piece of dripstone would kill them, so all this is a bit overkill. And this is the redstone back here that you saw in the explanation. It's a bit janky because I tried to build it into a build that I made and it was kind of hard to do. But I guess now I will show you the cinematic of a person attempting this when it's hidden. Alright, so that was the hidden version of the trap, and before I move on to the final trap in today's video, I would like to tell you the materials I used from the important parts of the trap. So I used 2 stacks and a half of drip leaves and respectively 2 stacks and a half of moss block. I also used 64 glowberries, or like glowberry vine. I used 1 sign that says you won. Then I also used 37 redstone, 9 sticky piston, 58 redstone torches, 1 skulk sensor, 27 dripstone, and 2 repeaters. And you may be wondering, that's a little bit not that much redstone. Well, that's because most of the redstone came from the piston door that I didn't make, so you can figure out how to build that yourself from a video in the iCard in the top right. But those are all the materials, and if you have all this stuff and you watch that one video, you could make this trap if you want to. So on to the final trap, and let's see what it's all about. Really quick before I move on to the actual third trap, even though I said I was already going to do that, I would like to hopefully take this time to tell you that maybe you should consider subscribing. I want to keep posting videos of this quality constantly and hopefully not disappear for another year. And consider maybe liking the video or commenting even. Any of those three really do help. So if you do any of those, if you like it, you always can. And if you don't, it's not that big of a deal. But if you do, just let you know that I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys into the third trap.